Depression. It's that unwanted mental flatmate who doesn't pay rent, eats all your emotional snacks, and leaves your motivation in the bin. And the worst part, it doesn't always show up with neon signs saying, "Hey, you're depressed." Sometimes it's sneaky, subtle, dressed up as tiredness or forgetfulness or "I just don't feel like it." So today, we're diving into 12 signs that you might be dealing with depression. Some are textbook, some are strange, all of them are real. And yes, we're going to laugh a little while we talk about it, because if you can't joke about the void, what can you do? Do you suffer from May? You may be eligible for professional support and a biscuit. 1. Tired all the time. You're not just sleepy, I've been hit by a freight train of emotional exhaustion tired. The kind of tired where you could nap for 3 days, wake up, and still feel like someone unplugged your battery mid-charge. People say, just get some rest. But rest doesn't help. You've slept 10 hours, taken a nap, and somehow still feel like a human raisin. You might look fine on the outside, but inside, your energy bar is flashing red and screaming low power mode. You know it's bad when walking from the sofa to the fridge feels like a cross-country hike. And if one more person suggests yoga, you might actually throw a soft object at them. Gently, because you're too tired to throw it hard. 2. You've lost interest in everything. Remember when you used to enjoy things? Like genuinely get excited about a hobby, a show, even just catching up with mates? Yeah, depression eats that up like a sad little Pac-Man. Suddenly, the things you loved just feel irrelevant. You stare at your art supplies, your game console, or your unread books and feel nothing. It's not boredom. It's like your passion button got stuck in off mode. Worse, you might start to miss how you used to feel about it, and that makes you feel even worse. It's the emotional equivalent of watching your favourite band perform while wearing noise-cancelling headphones. You're technically there, but it just doesn't hit the same. 3. You feel emotionally flat. Not sad, not angry, not happy, just meh. Depression doesn't always show up with tears and sad music. Sometimes it's just numbness. You're not reacting to anything. Someone could tell you they got engaged or that their cat learned to juggle, and you'd be like, "Oh, cool." Inside, you feel like a sponge that's been wrung dry. It's frustrating because you want to feel something. You remember caring. You remember laughing until your sides hurt. But now, it's all muted. Life's playing on the lowest volume setting, and you've lost the remote. 4. You cry over toast. Now let's swing to the other end of the emotional spectrum, the spontaneous sob fest. Ever cried because you dropped your toast, or because someone said, "How are you?" and you weren't emotionally prepared? Depression sometimes turns you into a leakier version of yourself. All those suppressed feelings bubble up at the weirdest times. You'll be holding it together all day, then suddenly have a meltdown over the fact your charger fell behind the bed. People around you are like, "Are you okay?" And you're like, "No, but also yes." But mostly, toast sadness. It's weird, it's random, and completely valid. Quick pit stop. If you're enjoying this so far, give us a like, smash that subscribe button, and tap the bell like it's your nan ringing for tea. 5. You cancel plans, even fun ones. You say yes to plans. You even get excited, but when the day comes, boom, dread, anxiety, zero energy. You cancel, and then feel guilty, and then feel like a bad friend. And now, you're spiralling while hiding under a blanket, pretending your phone doesn't exist. It's not that you don't care, it's that your brain is putting social interaction in the threat category, like you've been invited to wrestle a bear, not go for a coffee. Even texting back can feel like too much. People who love you might think you're ghosting them, but really, you're stuck in a loop of wanting connection, but feeling too overwhelmed to actually connect. 6. Food gets weird. Some days you're a bottomless pit. Other days you forget food is even a thing. Depression either makes you eat everything in the fridge or live off crackers and air for 3 days. It's like your appetite is being controlled by a malfunctioning remote. And then the guilt. Did I eat too much? Why didn't I eat? Why am I crying over a sandwich? The emotional relationship with food gets tangled, and suddenly what should be basic survival becomes daily internal debate. 7. Your brain is a wobbly fog machine. Trying to think clearly, good luck. Depression turns your brain into a foggy, indecisive soup. You walk into a room and forget why. You stare at a form for 20 minutes because name suddenly feels like an essay question. Concentration goes poof. Making decisions, even small ones like tea or coffee, becomes an existential crisis. You're not dumb. You're mentally jet-lagged without leaving your house. And then there's memory. You forget things constantly, like appointments, birthdays, or where you put your keys, which you're holding. You start to question if you're slowly turning into a confused grandma at the ripe age of 29-8. You beat yourself up, constantly. Depression is like having a mean little goblin in your head that narrates everything with the worst possible spin. Forgot to reply to a text. You're a terrible friend. Didn't get out of bed today. Lazy bum. Didn't finish that creative project. You'll never succeed. It's relentless. And worse, you believe it. Even if your logical brain knows better. That voice sounds so convincing, like the world's worst motivational speaker. It doesn't matter how much you do. You feel like it's never enough. You could rescue a kitten, and your brain would still be like, yeah, but you didn't fold the laundry. Thanks, Brenda. Real helpful. 9. Sleep makes no sense anymore. Sleep is supposed to be the body's reset button. But with depression, nope. It either disappears or multiplies like rabbits. One night, you can't fall asleep at all. Just you, your ceiling, and spiraling thoughts. The next night, you sleep 14 hours and wake up feeling like a bag of wet socks. There's no pattern, no predictability, just chaos. You get into bed at a decent hour, close your eyes, and your brain goes, let's relive every mistake you've ever made, fun times. And when you finally do sleep, it's filled with weird dreams and night sweats. It's like your subconscious is throwing a rave and you weren't invited. Thanks, brain. Really needed to remember that time I called my teacher mum in year 9. 10. Your hygiene has slipped. You don't mean to. You're not trying to live like a Victorian chimney sweep, but somehow showering feels like a major task. Brushing your teeth, exhausting. Changing out of the hoodie you've worn for 4 days, not happening. You want to clean up, but the mental mountain you'd have to climb to get in the shower feels too steep. So you start playing the Depression Hygiene Olympics. How many days can I go before someone notices? You might even start using phrases like, it's fine, dry shampoo is basically a bath. Or, this shirt doesn't smell that bad, right? Trust me, if your plants are getting more water than you are, there's something up. I'll get to you. Tomorrow. Probably. 11. You feel like a burden. This one's sneaky and awful. Depression makes you feel like a walking inconvenience. You start thinking things like, I don't want to bother anyone, or they'd be better off without me. Even when your friends love you and would drop everything to help, you still convince yourself you're just too much. You stop reaching out. You downplay how bad you're feeling. You say, I'm fine, even though you're slowly crumbling like a badly made lasagna. But let me tell you this, you're not a burden. Your brain is just being a liar. The people who care about you want to be there, even when you don't feel worth it. 12. You feel like you're faking it. And here comes the plot twist. You look fine, you act fine, and then you start thinking, maybe I'm not really depressed. Maybe I'm just dramatic. This is called imposter syndrome, but for mental illness. It's especially common if you're high functioning. You're still getting stuff done, smiling in public, but inside, a hot mess. You doubt your feelings constantly. You think, other people have it worse, I shouldn't complain. But pain isn't a competition. Just because you're not sobbing into a pillow 24/7 doesn't mean your struggle isn't real. Depression wears many faces, including the one you show at work while quietly falling apart. Just because I can function doesn't mean I'm okay. If any of these signs hit a little too close to home, first of all, you're not alone. Depression lies. It drains you, numbs you, and then tries to convince you it's all your fault. It's not. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're a human going through something incredibly difficult, and that's okay. The good news, depression is treatable. Therapy, medication, lifestyle changes, there's no shame in getting help. Just like you'd see a doctor for a broken leg, your brain deserves the same care. So if you're struggling, talk to someone, a friend, a GP, a therapist, anyone, because you're not a burden. You're not faking it. You're worth helping. Thanks for watching. Stay kind to yourself, and remember, even if today sucked, you made it through. That's no small thing. Now go drink some water and be slightly nicer to your brain. It deserves it.